All right, sports fans, welcome to Sports Night with Jorge. Tonight we're talking free agency. I'm gonna break it down by each position, where players went, how much they got paid, going down from quarterback to wide receiver to running back, what's available out there still. Dolphins did some good picks yesterday and today to build up. You know that Hollins went to the New York Giants, so Dolphins pick up two safeties now. So now I think that's it for the safety until the draft gets around, and hopefully they could build in the offensive line. They pick up two great offensive linemen. Once again, I want to thank those that have subscribed to the channel. Once again, guys, continue to interact. Be sure you leave a comment in the comment section so I can return your comments, guys. Thumbs up and everything. But let me start with the quarterbacks for you guys. This is amazing, guys. I tell you, this free agency has been real busy the last 3 days. So let me get you the quarterback. Waiting for my thing to download here because I was looking at it. So Sam Donalds signed with Seattle, 3 years, $100.5 million. Justin Fields signed with the Jets, 2 year, $40 million. We also had Daniel Jones signing with the Colts for 1 year, $14 million. Now, quarterbacks available: Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Jacoby Brissett, Marcus Mariota, Mason Rudolph, Joe Flacco, and Mac Jones. There was something about Jacoby Brissett signing, but I haven't got that official yet. Then you got running backs. Aaron Jones, did resign with the Minnesota Vikings. 2 years, $20 million. Najee Harris had left Pittsburgh, going to the Chargers. 1 year, $9.25 million. Available running back out there: J.K. Dublin, Nick Chubbs, Javonte Williams. This time with Dallas Cowboys. 1 year, $3 million. You got Ricky Dole, Kareem Hunt, Gus Edwards, Miles Sanders, and you got the fullback Kyle, if I'm spelling his last name right, Juskiski. Wide receiver. This is the one that has been busy a lot too. Chris Goodwin resigned with Tampa Bay. 3 years, $66 million. Amari Cooper still looking for something. Stephon Diggs is still looking for opportunity. Devontae Adams, as you know, he signed with the Los Angeles Rams. 2 years, $46 million. You have also the DeAndre Hopkins signed with Baltimore, man, for Lamar Jackson already, with a good running back they have in the backfield. 1 year, $5 million. Marquise Brown re-signed with Kansas City Chiefs. 1 year, up to $11 million. Then you have Darius Slayton re-signing with the New York Giants. 3 years, $36 million. That leaves out there Keenan Allen, Deontay Johnson, Mike Williams, and then you got Joshua Palmer signed with Buffalo. 3 year, $36 million. Elijah Moore is open. Melcole Hardin Jr., Marquise Valdez still there. Brandon Cooks. Then you had Nick Westbrook, that happened today, signed with the Dolphins. 2 years, $6.5 million. Noah Brown is still out there. Then you had Dami Brown, signed with the Jacksonville Jaguar. If I'm spelling your name wrong, I apologize. Signed in 1 year, $10 million. Then you got Kyle Boyle, did not sign. Tutu Atwell resigned with Los Angeles. 1 year, $10 million. Choo Smith-Schuster, still out there. Nelson Aguilar is out there. Mac Hollins signed with the New England Patriots. 2 years, $8.4 million. Van Johnson is out there. Olamide Sakos, I'm sorry if I spelled the name wrong. He's out there. Say Jones resigned with Arizona Cardinals. 1 year, $4.4 million. Justin Watson signed with Houston Texans. Then you got Tim Patrick, Taylor Johnson, Robert Wood, and Tyler Lockett, which is still out there. Tight ends. Okay, so far the one that has signed, there's only one out there. It's Tyler Conklin and Evan Ingram, which I hope the Dolphins will pick up Evan Ingram. I really like him a lot. Jawan Johnson resigned with the New Orleans Saints. 3 years, $30.75 million. Mike Gesicki also resigned with Cincinnati Bengals. 3 years, $25.5 million. Zach Ertz resigned with Washington Commanders. 1 year, $6.25. That's the team you got to look out, the Commanders, guys. This team is going to be very good this year. Austin Hooper resigned with New England Patriots, 1 year, $5 million. Excuse me. James Bates resigned with Washington Commanders, 3 years. And then you got, of course, I say Evan Ingram, which, man, if somebody gets him, they're in good shape. Offensive tackle. I'm trying to break everything down for you. Ronnie Stanley resigned with Baltimore Ravens, 3 years, $60 million. Cam Robinson is out there. Tyron Smith is out there. Alec Jackson resigned with Los Angeles Rams, 3 years, $57 million. You got Dan Moore Jr. signed with Tennessee, 4 years, $82 million. $82 million. Wow, what happened to my English there? I'm sorry about that. Morgan Moses signed with New England Patriots, 3 years, $24 million. You still got Jedrick Will Jr., Justin School. You have Jalen Moore signed with Kansas City, 2 years, $30 million. Trent Brown, not signed. DJ Humphrey, not signed. Larry Bowen, that's the guy that I like, the offensive tackle that Miami got, signed with the Dolphins. Joe Noteboom and Calvin Beecham and Fred Johnson are still available out there. That's your offensive tackle. Now we got interior offensive line. This is the one that signs and those that are available. Drew Deltman signed with Chicago Bears, 3 years, $42 million. Sorry if I'm spelling your wrong name. I think it's Drew Deltman. Ryan Kelly signed with the Minnesota Vikings, 2 years, $18 million. Coleman Shelton signed with the Los Angeles Rams, 2 years. Josh Myers, it's out there. Austin Corbett resigned with the Carolina Panthers. Doesn't disclose how the dollar bills or the amount. Bradley Bozeman resigned with the Los Angeles Chargers, 2 years, $12 million. Excuse me. Trey Smith, franchise tag with Kansas City Chiefs. Will Fries signed with the Minnesota Vikings, 5 years, $88 million. Then you got Tevin Jenkins, Kevin Sessler. James Daniels signed with the Miami Dolphins. That was a good pick, too, from the Pittsburgh Steelers. 3 years, $24 million. So if you look at it, Miami is actually boosting up their offensive line. Okay, I think they've done good in free agency. The only pick I don't like, guys, and don't get me wrong, is the quarterback. Zach Wilson. I have no idea, guys. As a backup, $6 million, I have question with that. But let's be honest, you got to give the person an opportunity to play in this league and give him a chance. Maybe he do something for McDaniels. Then you have Makee Beckham, Brandon Scherf. These guys are not signed. Patrick McCary signed with Jacksonville Jaguars, 3 years, $37.5 million. Aaron Banks signed with the Green Bay Packers, 4 years, $77 million. Will Hernandez available. Dalton Reisner available. Matt Pryor available. Lakeland Tomlinson signed with the Houston Texans, 1 year, $4.2 million. Evan Brown resigned with Arizona Cardinals, 2 years, $11.5 million. And then you got Tresken Colon, not signed. Ben Bredesen resigned with Tampa Bay, 3 years, $22 million. Robert Jones signed with the Dallas Cowboys, 1 year, up to $4.5 million. Lucas Patrick, not signed. These are the guys that are just available out there, guys. Bradley Christensen resigned with Carolina Panther, 1 year, $2.8 million. And then you got Daniel Brunskill, still available. Now you got Ed Roger, or Ed Defender, what you would call it, probably Ed Roger Rushers, or Rusher, sorry. So I'll tell you, my English is bad today. I apologize one more time. So I'm going to tell you who's available. There's a lot. I mean, Malik Mack signed back with the Chargers, 1 year, $18 million. Josh Sweet signed with Arizona Cardinals, 4 years, $76.4 million. Hazen Reddick signed with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a good pick. 1 year, $14 million. Malcolm Cones resigned with the Raiders, 1 year, $12 million. Dayo Odingobo. Sorry if I spell your name wrong. Odingobo, I don't know. Dayo signed with the Chicago Bears, 3 years, $48 million. Von Miller looking for a job. Cedric Smith looking for a job. Chase Young resigned with New Orleans Saints, 3 years, $51 million. Joey Bosa, if I'm quite sure, might join his brother in San Francisco. Sik Ojley, Marcus Lawrence, Dante Flower Jr., all looking for a job available out there. Chauncey Golston signed with the Giants, 3 years, $19.5 million. Matthew Hooden, also available. Dennis Garbeck, available. Preston Smith, available. Joshua Uck, available. Charles Omenihu, available. So you have Chauncey Golston, who signed with the Giants. I told you that for $19.5 million. Excuse me. Then you have Leonard Floyd signed with the Atlanta Falcons, 1 year, $10 million. We have resigned the Texas 1 year, $5 million. That was Derek Barnett, resigned with the Texas Texans, so 1 year, $5 million. And Darrell Taylor signed with the Houston Texans, 1 year, $5.25 million. And then you got Michael Hurst signed with Buffalo Bills, 3 years, $24 million. Then you got Pat Jones. And then we have Emmanuel Ogla, which the Dolphins have not signed. He signed. Pat Jones signed with Panthers, 2 years, $20 million. And then Joe Tyron Shonuka. Wow, these names are. I'm sorry. I apologize once again. Signed with the Cleveland Browns, 1 year, $4.7 million. Detrice Weiss Jr., Joseph Osari resigned with the Bengals, 1 year, $7 million. Clavin Chasen and Anthony Nilsson resigned with Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2 years, $10 million. Then you got Tyrus Bowser, Klein Farrell, Jermaine Davis, Brett Urban, Lorenzo Carter, Dre'Mont Jones, DeMarcus Walker, and DeWant Smooth. All these are guys available still for free agency. There's a lot to cover, guys. There's a lot to cover. And that was your interior, your edge defender. Now you got your interior defensive line. So there is a lot of free agency that has been signed, especially in the last 2 days. So hopefully your team picked the right player so you guys could fulfill your needs in your team and help your team to the next level. But once again, I want to thank you, everybody that has subscribed to the channel. Now, I'm going to talk particularly Miami Dolphins and also the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets. These three teams, by the Jets picking up Justin Fields for 2 years. This is the only thing I'm worried about Justin Fields, guys. And not more about Justin Fields, more about the fan in New York. See, when you have a fan base that big, listen, they want you to win. I said it again. I think I said it in my last podcast. If Justin Fields goes 0-3, 0-4, 0-5, and this team, they're going to want him out. I'm going to be sincere with you guys. I'm not saying that he's a bad player. I'm not saying that. It's just that sometimes, I think he did good in Pittsburgh. I think Russell Wilson came in, did a good job also. But at the end, unfortunately, I think his best bet is to stay in Pittsburgh. But money talks, and you know what happens, what walks. I'm not going to say it in my program. That's one thing I want to say about the Jets. Pittsburgh, big question mark. Who is your starting quarterback? Rumors are out there that Aaron Rodgers is between the Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers. You guys pick up DK, great receiver. You got Pickens, great receiver. Okay, you guys have an excellent defensive team. But now, who's your quarterback? Now, I know you guys signed Skylar Thompson from the Miami Dolphins. Good luck with that, man. Maybe the system that he goes there may be different. Maybe it might help him out. But that's what I see, guys. This is what I'm more concerned about when it comes to Pittsburgh. It's picking a good quarterback. They can still sign Russell Wilson if you want him back. I think he could give you one more year. Okay, I think he can. I think he can. Now, by saying that, let's talk about the Dolphins. My team, your team. They pick up two great offensive linemen. The guy from the Bears and the guy from Pittsburgh, Daniels. So, and of course Larry. So they're beefing up the front for Tua. Both are great run blockers, by the way. One has a better average when it comes to protecting the quarterback, the other one not. Now, one thing about Daniel, he's coming out from a torn ACL. Only played 4 games. So that's something that we have to look at the beginning of the season. One thing I'm going to say this, guys, and I know this is something that we have no control of. But if you start the season in the injury reserve list, man, it's a long road down the road, man. It's just a long road. And this is where Miami fails every year. And I know teams have injury every single year. But Miami starts every season with a player on the disabled list, if you want to call it like baseball. In the IR, or you want to call it, we don't need that, guys. I like the pick with Westbrook, the wide receiver, giving a better tall, receiver, because that's the thing I was saying on my list. If I can find the list here now, I have my list here of what the Dolphins need, and they already fulfilled that list. Now in the draft, don't be surprised they do draft a quarterback. Okay, Zach Wilson, guys, I'm gonna say the truth. I don't buy that pick. I mean that signing. I don't. And quote me if I'm wrong. I'm not saying the guy could, with McDaniels. You never know. I mean, look at Tua. Look how Tua came out. If it wasn't for McDaniel, Tua would not be the quarterback he is. At least you gotta give him credit on that side, on McDaniels. As a coach, he has a long way to learn and make the right decisions. I think that's what really hurt Miami the last couple of years. He doesn't care. He takes risk on 4th down. It doesn't matter. He goes for it. Once again, Miami has a solid backfield with A-Chain and Wright. Now, I mean, I think they have a decent offensive line. Guard, and they got a good center. So maybe this will take us to the next level. On the defensive side, I know we pick all these safeties. And by the way, I didn't mention one guy we pick up from the Jets, but he's not as good as we thought it was. Number 21, I can't remember his name now. But actually, maybe I could find it here. Give me a second. When I saw that pick for the Dolphins, which I know what they're doing is actually picking up players, because remember, Javon Holland left. So now they got plenty of safety to move around. And here it is. When Javon Holland signed with the Giants, 3-year, $45 million, okay? We signed, tell you right now, we signed Efeutu Malefanu from the Detroit Lions. He's great. 1 year, $4 million. That's not bad. So, I mean, it's hard, guys, to get so many players. But the more you got, the better it is, in case you get injury. But it's to put the right fit in the field so you guys could perform. Weaver's going to have a good defense. Zach Sealer, I think he's amazing. They still got a restructured contract. I mean, you still got Jaden Phillip. See, the reason why they didn't went after Joey Bosa is because they just restructured Chubb's contract, and he's coming out of out of a bad injury, and he's looking good on the field so far. The last time they saw him, he was, he looks healthy. Then you got Chops Robinson, and now we need Jaden Phillip to recover. The only thing is that multiple injuries that Miami gets every freaking year. They can't get over that hump. They need to get over the hump. If they want to win it this year, that's how I feel, guys. I feel they could win it if they could get over the hump. But they need to get over the hump. So, like I say, free agency is going along, man. There's a lot of good players out there. A lot of players have signed. The only thing I'm seeing, too, as owners and GMs, man, I think that some of these players are getting overpaid. I'm not saying they're not worth it. There's players that are worth it, but they're getting overpaid. But anyhow, I'm going to make this short and simple. I'm not going to make it long for you guys. That is my free agency update. Hopefully Miami, through the draft. Of course, there'll be more free agency. See, here's another thing too. The moment the camp starts and you go OTAs and all that, and then you play a preseason game, some of these good players get cut. Trust me, they get cut. And don't forget, you got the practice squad. So that's one thing that you could get players from any team from your practice squad. But that's a plus. And if you look at it, that's what Miami does every year. They wait to the end to see what's left over. The only thing is you don't want to pick up leftovers. You want to pick competitive players that want hungry, that want to win. See, that's another thing. I don't know their model this year. I know that this could be Greer and Coach Daniel probably last year if they don't make it. I think what the fans want, and I know you guys want a Super Bowl, but I think everybody wants just a playoff win. Just get a freaking playoff win, and we should be okay. Don't know. I'm going to say, looking at Kansas City, I'm looking at teams like the Denver Broncos, the Chargers. Don't be surprised with the Raiders either, Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, you got Geno Smith reunited with the coach down there. So, it's kind of difficult to make those predictions. Of course, I'm just saying what I see. But there's a lot of teams. The Commanders are going to be great. Watch out for Daniels. I mean, that team is loaded, guys. The Eagles, look, they lost a lot of players also through free agency. San Francisco, I mean, if they don't sign Purdy and give him a good contract, I don't know what to tell you. And this is the sad thing about the NFL and sports, man. You built a dynasty, you built a team around your quarterback, you built players around, and then you break your dynasty. When you have a window, which Miami has a window in 2025, just the same thing that San Francisco 49ers had. They had a window to win it. This is it. The window shuts down. What happened? Everybody gets cut, get traded. And it's difficult to overcome all that, guys. And I said that, and I said it truthfully. You could speak to any, podcaster, broadcaster, whatever you want to call it, sports journalist. Once your team, it's built to win, and unfortunately, yes, it's hard to win the whole thing. I'm not going to tell you it's not. Then you're getting yourself into a situation that at the end of the year, man, we got to cut this because here we go again. We go back to the budget, to the salary cap. We go through the same thing every freaking year. Okay? So that's one thing we have to look at, guys. So anyhow, thank you so much. Those that have subscribed, I'm actually at 498. Try to get a 500. Hopefully I do. If I don't, man, it's in God's will. But anyhow, I'm going to say something, man. Love you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. Listen, be strong, man. Stay positive. There's always a way out. I am sending a lot of shorts out there that I'm sending, especially Christians. When I don't say Christian, I'm going to say in general. I don't get into religion. I'm not. Let me change that, and I apologize for that. I respect everybody. I send that to encourage, to lift people up, to people understand it's not about me. It's about Him. And that's all I can say, But anyhow, God bless you guys, man. Thank you so much for joining in. And see you guys next time on Sports Night with Jorge. God bless.